Good morning, everyone. We got some interesting articles I come across. We're going to go across them today. First off, I want to do a little checkout on some planes, see what's happening out here, see what's flown this morning. Let's see what we got rolling around here in the aircraft, in the military aircraft way. Got a lot of these Globemasters on the roll this morning. I noticed that. What's this guy? What's the big one? Oh, this is Super Galaxy rolling across. It's a big boy right there. It was funny the other day. It was like 2 days ago. I saw 7 of them going out all the way to UK. 7 of our Globemaster 3s. I wonder if it's UK's. What's going on over here? Yeah, that's one of ours. It's another. It's another. There's. It's ours. There's. Not ours. Oh, we got a few over here. What about these ones? No, those are UK's. That one's ours. It's Hungary's. Hungary's heading over here too. Who's Helly? That's ours. Man, we're really making our way down here, aren't we? Italy, Romania. What else we got? Poland up there. Oh. Poland dropped something off, it looks like, or something here. I don't know if y'all see that, but. What's this one? Turkeys. Yeah, Turkey's probably out on the move right now, I would suspect. Oh, look at that. That's ours. Oh, that's a Strato tanker. Oh, that's refueling other things that don't show up. Wait, hold on. That's them. That's UAE. Yeah, Oman. So we must have something going on over here. There's a Strato tanker that just kind of cruised through here just a couple minutes ago. They refueled something. Well, but they won't show us, of course. I haven't seen much of any movement here. The last couple of days, it's been pretty dark. About normal. See if anything's gone around here. Nothing. Everything's avoiding it. Man, that's crazy. Look at that. They want no planes coming near that. That thing's like a plague, man. Look at that traffic, bro. Wow, look at that. Ow, whoa. There's a lot of traffic. Busier than I normally see that area. Huh, that's funny. Yeah, it's real heavy compared to normal. Just big open wave right there. That's wild. Huh. Let's see. Alright, keep an eye on that. That up there. Cool. Alright, let's start off with I found this article here. Neuralink test shows monkeys can see without using its eyes. So, this is getting into some god level stuff, you know. I find this pretty interesting. Latest brain implant, blind sight. This brain computer interface device allowed monkeys to perceive visual cues that did not physically exist. Interesting. I can see how this would be used for like nefarious things too, as well as it's pretty cool. I mean, comes back to like the, you know, almost like a computerized version of like the third eye and stuff, and how it, but the one that we have is just a lot more powerful and uses way less low energy than what these need. But I find this very this is the beginning of something. He's always been on the edge of everything, it seems. He understands what the future is going to be. Read enough science fiction novels and you kind of get it. Let's see. Neuralink and the blindsight device was that the monkey, after being implanted with a chip, responded 2/3 of the time to visual stimuli that researchers had artificially induced the brain to perceive. That's wild. 2/3. That's what blows my mind, is the 2/3 part. Like, it's not just like 1/8 of the time or like a fluke here or there. No, this is like they're getting this down. Like, down. Like, now it's 2/3, but tomorrow it's 3/3. It's a whole. But no, really though, it's and then that the researchers had artificially induced the brain to perceive. That's just kind of weird and scary, but cool, because like I've always thought of like Ready Player One being like kind of what people are looking for in the next like experience of like experience of technology combining with more humans, like you're bridging the video game gap to the normal technology experimental stuff gap, and you're just bringing those and intertwining those, and then we're getting into some like matrixy stuff, which I mean sounds super weird, but it's really we're not far off from those kind of movies. We're really not. I mean, iRobot's kind of right around the corner if you think about it. So uh, and it's kind of scary, but we open the box. There's no putting the cat back in the box. Like, it's we're just gonna have to make the best of this, and we're just gonna have to do this as best as we can. I mean, and know that God's got its way, and we're just kind of on a rock floating in space and hoping for the best. So, but we'll make do with what we got. It's what humans have always done. So, one step at a time. But let's see. According to Bloomberg, the first Neuralink in hindsight was oh yeah, okay. At the conference, made several notable comments, including the idea of pairing blindsight set with a set of glasses to help the chip function more efficiently. He also noted that some users spend approximately 60 hours a week using the Neuralink device. Wow. Yeah, scrutiny over federal investigations, blah, blah, blah. I don't really think there's much else in there. During a recent presentation, noted that the testing in the monkeys presents certain advantages because a monkey's visual cortex is located closer to the brain's surface than in humans. It is more easily accessible. For humans applications, Neuralink plans to use the surgical robot to reach deeper brain regions for implant placement. That's kind of weird. But it makes sense. It's probably a little harder to definitely reach those areas. And at least it's a robot now, and it's not a human fucking your shit up. A robot's a little more precise. So, I've always been a very big advocate for robot doctors and robots clearing out our medical field. I know it sounds bad, but I mean, I've only had bad experiences with doctors. I've rarely ever in my life have had a good experience, and that's why I just can't go or don't go. I just don't trust them, and I don't believe their judgment, because you catch doctors and they just don't care anymore. It's not like it used to be. But I just thought this was very interesting. very, very, I don't know, Matrixy third eye-ish type of weirdness. I don't know. Next one, let's go on to Zentek pushes forward on AI drone swarms, U.S. military applications, and quantum computing initiatives to be highlighted at 3 upcoming investor conferences. So that's some big stuff because we've always got to fund all this stuff somehow. And I'm always interested to see the shift in movement to these military applications. It seems people have realized that America should probably best to be the dominant one as we have been. Is as bad as it seems to say, but it is the truth at the end of the day. I'd rather be number one than number two. So, I don't know. And I feel like this is a lot of these companies are trying to be like, oh, okay, like, now this is what everyone cares about. Now we have to, they're shifting the money all towards it, At least it's not going towards DEI and all the other stuff. I mean, at least we're going to something productive. And I love this stuff. I think this is because this is what drives innovation. Like, finally, okay, now we can get to the artificial intelligence and we can get to the quantum computing and we can actually now physics and science becomes more put on the pedestal that it used to be. Being an astronaut is cool again. Being working for, not really NASA, but working for like SpaceX is badass, in my mind. Working for anything that's in the quantum computing realm or the drone realm, I think is so cool. I mean, even if you say about the drones and the suicide drones and the bombs and all that, that's part of it, regardless whether you like it or not. And honestly, out there in space, you're gonna need something. If we're gonna fly around in space, we're gonna need something to help us out. We can't just be rolling around there with nothing. It's like walking out in the woods without a knife or something to protect yourself. A knife, a gun, a bow. Humans have always walked out in the woods with something. Because I mean, when you're in the unknown, it's better to have something than nothing. So, but I think it's funny just to see the shift in the money and just how the flow of all these companies or what they're actually wanting to do. I don't know. It's very interesting because I think the war in Ukraine really kind of opened up the door back to like military manufacturing. Like it really became big again. And it was like, oh, okay, we actually have to we were making stuff, but like we really need to like make stuff because like you started to see how fast war was changing from tanks to drones to surveillance to these internet and computer applications, so much more so in robotics than actual like human and basic metal. They've gone beyond that. And I just, it's still there, but I just find the interesting shift and change in it all. Um, but yeah, if you take a look, there's a lot of people just shifting money towards all of this. I've been watching a couple of the big investment companies and watching what they're kind of investing in. You really see it, and same with stocks. You can really start to see some stocks really start to change. Um, a lot of money is being shifted into certain directions. Like I said, I'd rather have us making cool military stuff than us promoting DEI and pride parades and teaching kids to be furries and just this weird shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You do you. No judgment ever from me, because I'm just as weird. I'm just as weird, but not in that way. just not that way. I'm old school. I'm old school. I grew up in old school area that's very old school minded. So I'm not about that shit. I am about making good weapons though, because we need protection when the bombs come flying in. We need to be able to protect our families. We need to be able to protect our friends. We need to be able to protect those young ones, because they don't deserve it. I don't know, but this is interesting. This is IBM, and Inclusive Brain brings together AI, quantum, and neurotechnologies to improve the understanding of brain machine interfaces. So this is basically, I feel like IBM now jumping into Neuralink now. They're like seeing Neuralink and they're like, oh damn, that's a good idea. Maybe we should do that. Now IBM is like, okay, well, like let's bring all three of these together. Well, yeah, now we're starting to like really start to play around with, with the levels of creating a being almost. I don't want to say a god, but an actual intelligent being. The being needs. It can't just be artificial intelligence, because it needs a little chaos to it. It needs what I like to, the chaos theory. It needs unknowing and unknown to be able to actual go do its thing. It's counteractive, but it needs one and the other. But I feel like that's where the quantum is, the quantum physics, because it's really unknown, and it's like you can't. It's up to the observer, and it's also, they can be in multiple places at the same time, and that's where that comes in. And then you get that, and you put those two together, and then boom, and then you put the neurotechnologies, which is like the interfacing and stuff like that, and then you put those two with that, and then you get a robotic body. You see a synthetic robotic body. You put all those in there, and then boom, we got a being, and we ain't that far off, y'all. We ain't that far off. And I think this is the cool, interesting time. Like, if you wanted to travel back in time to see, like, oh man, where did it like begin? Where did like the fun begin? Like, I think this is the fun that's beginning. As crazy it is. I think this is it. I mean, I just, I just think it's crazy what we're in, the time that we're in. I love it. I love it. I really do. I love having six monitors here to observe the world and everything. Like, I love this. It's great. I can see everything, all these cool technologies, learning about all this every day. Like, this is magnificent. This is the greatest thing anyone, I feel like, I could ask for, because I love this. This is good. This is awesome information. This is cutting edge. We need some like this stuff, and lasers, and quantum physics, and like we're getting closer, and it feels good. It feels awesome. But yeah, it's definitely a good read. I read it, scanned it a little bit earlier and stuff. I don't want to go through the whole thing here, but definitely a really good read, because I feel like this is just the shift of like I said, this is the shift that's happening and stuff. Leader in non-invasive neurotechnologies, um, multitude, artificial intelligence. Yep, they joined together. Uh, let's go to Anduril. This one's and Meta team up to transform XR for the American military. I thought this was really interesting. Now we got Anduril meeting up with Zuckerberg over here, and Zuckerberg is going full military now. Told you, the shift of money. The shift of money. It's crazy to see. It's crazy to see how how Facebook is changing when the world's changing. But yeah, no, this is you know yeah, they've been using the last decade to build AI and AR, to enable computing platform for the future. You know, it comes at a pivotal movement in the evolution of national defense. Do you guys see that? It is a pivotal movement in evolution in national. This is crazy. Americans' national security has benefited from the U.S. technological leadership at every phase of the computing revolution, from the first microchips and PCs to today's internet and mobile devices. Yeah. Blah blah blah. Has spoke. Blah blah blah. I'm glad to be working with Meta once again. Lucky said, of all the areas where dual use technology can make a difference for America, this is the one I am most excited about, because he gets it. I feel like he's the very few people that sees it the way I see it, because he knows where we're headed. He's seen enough movies and read enough books and understands enough things that it's like, it's not hard to see this. It's really not. If I had a lot of money, there's so many good avenues I feel like are the future. Like, don't even get me started on some space mining, bro. Space mining is the future. The first company that does space mining right wins. I guarantee you that. The first company that gets space mining down will win everything. They will become the one of the richest families in all of existence. I guarantee it. That's one I think is really good, and not only that, but like just like spaceship building. Like, I feel like that will be a very that will bring in a lot of money, and I think that's where Elon's just he kind of gets it on that part. Like, he's really coming up with something. Even after that explosion that we saw, which I'll have to watch that. But because I read about that. Let's see. The world is entering a new era of computing that will give people access to limitless intelligence and extend their sense of perception in ways that have never been possible before. So hopefully we're talking like X-ray, infrared. Like, I want to be able to see everything. Like, I want 2 miles of woods, and I want to be able to see if a fucking squirrel moves its leg to scratch its ear. Like, boom. I want an AI in my glasses to be able to pin that motherfucker down. Give me the distance on that. Give me ways to be able to see that same thing, zoom in on it, and see it in different ways, like infrared and everything. Bro, this is the future. And then it's not only that, but we'll all compact it all into like an eyeball, and then we'll just like take our eyeball out and just put that eyeball in, and then boom, we got some crazy shit here. Whether you like it or not, it's coming, and it's the future. So you can be like, this guy's crazy. Yeah, I am. But whether you like it or not, we're not far off from crazy, okay? We're already here. We're talking about quantum physics now. Like, you want to talk about crazy? Go tell someone about quantum physics 50 years ago. Well, give it up. Depending on who you talk to 50 years ago. But you know what I mean? The majority of people 50 years ago. I was just going to say, there's some really intelligent people that were already starting to talk about this 50 years ago. So they just were thought to be crazy. So, that's how it goes. Our national security benefits enormously from American industry bringing these technologies to life. Yeah, because we've always been the innovator of pushing this, and I'd rather be number one than number two. And I'm scared of China being number one, because China is fucking killing it over there with some of their technology game. And same thing with some Korean places too. They're killing it with their technology in their understanding and their applications and their creation. And we need to really catch up in that area. We really do. I feel like this will be the way we can get back to it, is being like selling it to these people that they can use it for military applications, because then that shifts all the whole paradigm of all the money that kind of runs around in our system. Whether you like it or not, a lot of our money is military usage, and which it should be. It's what we're really kind of like built off of, being the number one military complex in the world. But I'd rather be number one than number two. So But I really thought this was an interesting pairing, and I just don't see anyone really talking about it. I didn't see much anyone talking about it, and probably a good reason why they're not talking about it. But I'm gonna talk about this shit. This shit's fucking awesome though, because it's whether you like it or not, it's happening. So next one. Let's see. First demonstration of quantum teleportation over busy internet cables. Wait, hold on. This looks old. It's 2024. How did I find this the other day then? It was on my Google thing. Yeah, it's probably old. I'm not going to read that one. We'll skip that one. All right. This debrief. Oh, I like this one. Yeah, this tiny wearable e-tattoo can read your mind's stress levels. That's really cool. I've always seen a couple people have like conspiracy theories about like the e-tattoo and like how it'll change things and stuff like that, which I don't know. It makes sense because say like a wallet almost, it's I see where like the conspiracy theories are leading it towards, compacting everything basically into one, like your wallet and your phone, I mean it's in your hand now, but I don't know. I always thought about that, how they would, and they do that I guess with your phone now, is they have all your digital wallet stuff now, I guess. So I mean, they didn't even need to put a chip in you because they got the chip in your hand and you just carry it around 24/7. I wonder about that. I guess I never thought of that, but still, I think stuff is cool because I think I don't know. I think e-tattoos really have an application in the future. I don't think we've really discovered yet, but what they can all do. But I think this is leading down it. Cause like, if you could do this, could you hypothetically, if you can read their mind stress levels, hypothetically, it's just a couple creations away from being able to control, right? And then, you know, I guess would having I wonder if having an inside implant versus a good enough like outside implant like a e-tattoo, I wonder which one would be more powerful. Probably the inside, right? Huh. I wonder. This is interesting though. Beyond bulky brain tech, yeah. This is what I mean is like you could have essentially like it'd be a lot lighter, it'd be thinner, but with hair it probably wouldn't work as well, especially for like someone like me, or that's very kind of hairy. And no, I guess it's a tattoo. It's tattooed under a layer of skin, isn't it? But this is a wearable. Yeah, I guess you'd really have to be able to only use this in certain applications because I don't see how this could work on the beard here. You'd have to shave everything clean and then like tape it all down, right? Useful for high demand, high stake jobs such as military, space, high performance industry, control rooms, environments where human error due to mental overload can be catastrophic. Or maybe they can use this to figure out how to push you to your edge and then go right there right before, like how Amazon does with their delivery drivers, how they figure out, use a couple weeks to use the cheetah system to figure out how fast this individual can run and withstand and do a day, and then they'll push it right to that edge, and then that's what you have to do every day. Big implications for e-tattoo. Bigger questions. Um, yeah, effectiveness. This is what I was wondering about. Like, cause like it wouldn't be effective on us like hairy people. Like I said, it'd be a lot harder to do something wearable like on my face or you know on my arm. The wearable I'd have to shave, and that's the whole thing in itself. I guess I don't really see this the wearable part. I don't know. I think the e tattoo part is the future, but I don't think the wearable part is. I think for some things it'd be cool, but I don't know. That one's an interesting though. Develop a new tech to power 3D holograms using quantum entanglement. How the microscopic imaging works, blah blah blah. Overcoming phase wrapping. Researchers had to solve a long-standing problem of phase wrapping. This issue arises when image techniques utilize the phase of light waves to determine the depth of a target's contours. The piece of blah blah blah. Okay. This one I thought was interesting too. Your brain emits a secret light that scientists are trying to read. I did see that that we all like emit a certain a visible glow. Many Earth critters have the ability to emit a visible glow, but humans aren't usually considered among their numbers. This may not entirely be correct. See, and takes me back to like some religious shit, because this is the halo that like everyone used to see back then, when we used to be more in tune to like the natural frequencies, and natural other lightings and things like that used to be illuminate things. Especially like the bioluminescent lights and things like that at night, and plants, and the different spectrums and of like the feathers of the birds, and I feel like we used to be a lot more attuned to all this, and I feel like this is the halos that they used to see on certain individuals that had the light inside, and this is the God that is light. Light is essentially God, but this wave and this light is the it, and it's the illumination, and that used to give like almost like a halo effect, because if like you like like a glass dome with light, you see the halo, you'll see the ring, around the glass dome, and that's like, I feel like that's the halo that like people used to always like associate with like angels or like high beings, and I feel like it was just individuals that had like they understood the universe, they had the secrets, they were blessed in a way, they I mean, of course you have to work your way there, it's the same thing with like I'm thinking about all of the religions, not only like Christianity, but you go to like Buddhism, and like and it's everywhere. It's you go to Hinduism, it's there. It's this illumination from the mind and through it is it, um Biophotons could tell us a thing or two about what takes place beneath our skin. Oh, that's a 4-minute video. Never mind. Let's see. Ultra weak photon emissions from the human brain can serve as readouts to track functional states. We measured uncharacterized photons counts over the heads of participants while they were registered and engaging in an auditory perception task. Yeah, I always felt like, during meditation, or during, music, when I would meditate during listening to music, or like just meditation in itself, I feel like you can see the illuminate. You get to that state where you like everything in the dome becomes really illuminated, and I feel like that's you turning on your light. That's you switching to turn on from off to on. That's a doing, and I feel like that's where you get like that old image with the light bulb and stuff like that. I mean, it's all one and the same. It's all symbolism of one and the same. We all you can all trace everything back home eventually, it all has its roots, But I just find it interesting because it's like, man, I've read so many books, that occult books, and just odd books that have talked about this, and it's just funny to see science just kind of catch up to what the magic and the occult world has, in pagan world and all those other realms have, you know, talked about and taught for such a long time, and even basic smolder religions, and what they talked about. It's just funny to see science finally catch up to what religion has really been teaching us for the whole time. I just feel like too many people take religion what do you say, so um, they hold on to it so strong and so literally that they just can't comprehend the symbolism behind it, and that disallows them to truly understand the messaging of behind it and why it was left behind, even because it's not like they left us behind and it's been surviving for thousands of years for nothing. No, 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 no. There's a reason it's just survived. It's because it has a great symbolism behind it that can't be yeah, it's so powerful. It needs to be kept alive, and certain people understand that and they protect it with their life. But I don't know. I just thought this was funny because, yeah, UPE fingerprint. Yeah, I feel like we all have our aura. I guess you could call it. Whatever you want to call it. It's there. It's beaming outside of you, and it's just. I feel like I wish more people could see it and understand it. I mean, you know, I guess I would ask. I bet some really interesting individuals can probably already see this, and try to make people aware of it. But as soon as they make people aware of it, they're probably tossed in a mental ward and never seen again, and packed full of pills. And yeah, I'm not saying they're all all crazies are good, but I feel like there's goes hand in hand, and I feel like just existing in reality and being able to exist in reality, you have to learn how to balance the crazy, you know, the not crazy. And even if you lean more on the crazy side, you just gotta put it out in the right way. Just like Da Vinci, or all these crazies before us. They just found a good outlet to put out their crazy, and it allowed them to survive in this world, rather than being rejected, or being ultimately rejected and captured and caged. This one I've always thought was very on the. This is, if we want to figure out how to regenerate, yeah, I feel like these little creatures are in the way. I've always seen them in certain movies and certain things, and I always thought they were interesting because I feel like they if we want to learn how to regenerate our bodies, I feel like we would just need to study these creatures. I feel like it's all left here for us on this planet of Eden. It was like everything was left here just so we could find our way back. You know, um, and I feel like people don't realize it, but they just they take and kill and demolish, and they don't take the time to actually get it and understand it and why it was left here for us. I feel like a lot of creatures here could have taught us a lot of lessons before we made them go extinct. I feel like just people just didn't understand what their application could have been in the future. And I'm not saying like dissect and stuff, but it's how it has to be. We need to learn, and I feel like these were all you know they're all great creatures, and they're all just like us, and it's just building blocks to life. Yeah, seems the most something out of science fiction. It is. It truly is. I've got a couple pictures of a few of them actually in person. It was a very interesting looking creature just to see him in person, but um, Researchers conducted an experiment. They amputated the legs at the wrist and administered a drug called talor, talor, talorazole, which inhibits the enzyme by turning off the brakes, where it shouldn't. As a result, the wrist cell, confused by the high concentration of acid, interpreted position as being the shoulder. Instead of regenerating a hand, they proceeded to regenerate a complete limb. It was the ultimate test. Interesting. Oh man, I bet that's rough though. Hmm. Do not possess a magic gene for regeneration, but they share the same fundamental genes as humans. The key difference lies in the accessibility of those in genes. While injuries in humans activate genes that induce scarring, in salamanders there is a call de-differentiation or differentiation. Oh, I can't say it again. The cells return to the embryonic-like state where they can respond to signals such as acid. This ability to return to a development state is the basis of their regeneration. So they basically just go back to being like the cells themselves go back to the beginning so that they can just rebuild themselves again, basically. So if we have the same genes, why can't we? The difference is that the salamander can regenerate that program after injury, not only pathway during the initial growth, but before birth. We have selected pressure to shut down and heal. My dream and the community's dream is to understand how to make the transformation from scar. Bless them. Interesting. It would not be necessary to modify human DNA to induce regeneration, but to intervene at the right time and place in the body with regenerator or regulatory molecules. For example, molecular pathways that signal a cell to be located in the elbow and on the pinky side, and not in the thumb. So it sounds like just targeting seems to be a little bit, such as CRISPR. Yeah, I figured that name would pop up here. Yeah, I figured. Huh. I, yeah, this is interesting. If we have the same genes, it's just a matter of activation at that point. And it's just activation, pinpointing it. Obviously, they can do something about it, but they can't. Sounds like it's still a little rough. It will be for a few years. Solar flares, man. They be killing our internet, and they be dropping planes out the sky, man. I wish more people would pay attention. This stuff is very important, especially lately. The last few years. Our solar flares and our solar fields and our magnetic field. Things are changing, man. Strong blackouts, and I feel like this is what all the billionaire preppers, like Mark Zuckerberg and all the other billionaires, like where they're building and buying every shelters that are going on the market. I feel like this is yeah, they know something that probably we don't, and I feel like this has something to do with it. It's a solar flare, and I feel like it'd be pretty rough to be able to survive a very, very bad one of these, especially aimed at the certain parts of Earth. So, I mean, there was that other day like last week, where like most of the internet just took a dip everywhere, because of big old solar flare fucking wiped a lot of stuff out. So, um, loss of frequencies. Yep. Strike Earth's magnetic field, sparking auroras. Yeah, if you're seeing colors in the sky down in certain areas, it's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. It sure looks cool, but it's like when you put a bunch of like chemicals in the water and it turns all rainbow. Oh, it sure looks cool. But I wouldn't touch it and I wouldn't drink it. Sure looks cool though. Same with smoke. If you see colored smoke from like an explosion or something, and you see colored smoke, you better outrun as far as you can, and you're probably not gonna survive. Seeing colored smoke is scary, man. Robots that feel breakthroughs. Robotic skins could revolutionize human robotic interactions. Told you. We're not far off with all these puzzle pieces all combining together, and we're getting here, and we're getting a nice little being. We'll you know, we're really close, aren't we? We're actually, where is my cat girl? I would like a cat girl. There we go. Can we create one now? If a robot can feel, can we like, you know, do some things and I can get a cat girl finally? Her, but or Cortana. Yeah, can I get Cortana? I always, always like Cortana back in Halo. Yeah, that'd be kind of nice, man. Real life Cortana. That'd be cool. There's many others. I just. But no, seriously though, it's very interesting things that we're talking about here. Human robot interactions. In advanced robot applications. We all know what this industry is going to be using this for, or what industry is going to be really on top of this for. For years, scientists have considered human skin the gold standard for building responsive robotic systems. Our skin is incredibly versatile, and can detect pressure, temperature, texture, and even damage. Yeah, feeling is one of our greatest senses of all. It is one of my favorites. Absolutely favorites. However, mimicking this complexity in artificial materials has been a persistent challenge. Yeah. Because we ourselves are the epitome of the creation. It's truly a blessing to be in this intelligent electric being and body that functions off of a organic way, so the organic way allows it to be able to regulate things on a deeper and understanding on a deeper level. And I feel like we're just trying to create ourselves in a way. It's the full circle, the snake eats itself kind of thing. I mean, we all know where this is going. But let's see. Cambridge researchers have introduced an innovative solution to these long-standing challenges by designing a new type of robotic skin made from a single layer of hydrogel, which is exceptionally responsive to environmental conditions and physical touch. Let's see. By utilizing electrical impedance tomography techniques, the team created over 863,000 conductive pathways across the hydrogel membrane. That's really wild. These pathways can detect at least 6 distinct types of stimuli, ranging from human touch to damage, multi-point installation pressure, and localizing heating. This multisensory ability means the skin can not only feel physical contact, but it can gauge environmental factors and response accordingly. Very interesting. Extends far beyond the fields of robotics and AI. With this ability to detect changes in temperature, pressure, and touch in the robotic skin, could play a transformative role in improving prosthetics. Here we go. This is the good one. Exoskeletons and wearable medical devices. Can we go back here? Improving prosthetics, arms, legs, things like that. Great. And along with exoskeletons. Which is cool because it's like the rich are going to have like a protective suit. I always thought that'd be a very good, like a Dune force field type thing. I always thought that'd be very cool. Whoever makes it's going to make a lot of money, I'll tell you that much. And wearable medical devices. Which is, itself is already changing the game with where we've gone with wearable medical devices, with especially like the Apple Watch and the hearing aid things and things like that. We've already been here and done it for a little while. This is really gonna get crazy, especially with that exoskeleton. I always find that interesting. Yeah, feedback to an artificial limb, which is really cool. Basically giving you your arms and legs back. We're gonna become half robot, half human soon. Oh, let's see. I think I got like one left. Yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting. I won't go over too much of it, but they don't have an actual explanation for strange radio pulses coming from below the ice. I wonder. So, I wonder what could be under there. Do you guys think it's an alien spaceship beaming home? It's like beaming a homing like device that's like stuck under the ice for like a million years, and it like just turned on yesterday or something. Now we're gonna have like aliens coming down and looking for its friend, and it's below all this ice. And I don't know. I thought that would be cool. But yeah. They mounted a cosmic particle detectors to analyze radio waves from cosmic rays. Detection of a strange radio pulse that seems to be originating from below the ice. And they have no idea what it is. I'm betting you it's an alien spaceship down there. Beaming, or, pulsing a radio pulse back home, trying to get it back home. Bet you $100. See, bizarre signals defy the current understanding of particle physics, and it may hint at a previous undiscovered particles or particle interactions. Interesting problem, because we still don't actually have an explanation for what these anomalies are. They're aliens. I'm telling you. I know the future, man. I've been here before. I've ride this ride before too many times. It's aliens, man. It's aliens. I need that meme. It's aliens. Remote locations. But yeah, it's super weird, man. Super weird. Yeah, this could solve the mystery. Yeah, future. Yeah, like future us will deal with it. It's not our problem now. Remain unexplained. So I don't know. Some articles, some shit. I'll see y'all later. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you.